Alright, YouTube modelers, so we're going to start the Miller High Life Special Penske PC17 from AMT ERTL. I believe it's from the IndyCar Racing, IndyCar World Series Championship. I used to catch a few Indy car races here nearby in New Jersey. Used to have them in the Meadowlands. So I think now they even have E-Indies, the electric motors here in Brooklyn. So let's take a look at this kit. Of course, it's on pretty tight. Hoping to do this with one hand. Okay, here we go. Doesn't look like too many parts. Of course, you get the body, the suspension, the engine. I don't expect it to have too many body parts or body panels. Ooh, win a trip from AMT ERTL. Okay, that's pretty cool. Watch some old I always enjoy seeing these in old model boxes where they say, you know, join Blueprinter, order a catalog for $2. Now it's probably like $15 to $25. Always interesting. Chrome pieces, decals, Miller High Life. Just from the box it looks like it's probably gold and white, which I do have paint for. Some massive thick tires for the track. I'll have to rough them up or score them, or whatever you want to call it. Take a look at the instructions. I think this period, AMT ERTL, the instructions were very large. They opened up really large. The kit, I think, is like 1980s. Let's take a look at what the box says. Because it kind of has AMT ERTLs. Ooh, 89. Okay. So let's take a look at a little history. It is cockpit assembly. Oh, it comes with a driver. That's always cool. The engine assembly. That's nice. I don't expect it to be too many parts. Again, I'll unbag the parts so that we can look at the parts in more detail. The decals. Okay, so let me unbag the parts. Alright, so since this is from the late 80s, we're talking about, what, 30 years? So the bag actually opened pretty easily. So here are the wheels, shiny chrome. I gotta see whether they're supposed to be shiny chrome or some kind of alloy. If it's alloy, I'll shoot it with a matte clear to dull it down. Looks like some engine parts, radiator, some kind of turbocharge. I like the driver, the torso, arms, helmet, some pipes, possibly exhaust. The seat, I noticed the seat belts are in there in case you don't want the driver sitting down, but the driver is sitting down. I have to check out the aftermarket and see if they have some straps that I can put on him. That's the mini windshield, the chassis that's bullet shaped, the stress engine member, which doubles as a suspension piece, as well as the engine. It looks like a V8, 4 cylinders on each side. The instrument panel, steering wheel, some more cylinder heads, some kind of manifold. I don't know whether it's intake or exhaust. Some kind of tub, probably for the fuselage. Not too many pieces, but cool looking. I've never built one of these Indy cars before, so should be good. Again, I used to go to the Marlboro Indies in New Jersey Meadowlands because that's close to me. I think I went for like 2 years. I remember leaving my face full of rubber and smell of methanol. So these look like spoilers or front spoilers, wishbone suspensions. Okay, so I'm probably going to degrease the parts, check out the color. I believe I do have gold and I do have white, and then everything else I'll look into possibly distributors and the 6-point harness. Alright, so the parts are back from my first shot of paint. Here's all the body panels in red primer. I'm going to wait until it dries and then spray the white paint and then mask off and start spraying gold. Here are the parts in dark gray, flat black, medium gray, the driver in metallic gold, and I toned it down with some clear matte, gloss white, and like I said, the dark gray and the light gray. Okay, so next comes coating the body color and then start some assembly. Oh, and the engine was pretty much almost fully assembled, and I sprayed it in metallic silver, and the rear suspension as well. I'm going to start assembling it from here. Alright, everything's painted. The bottom of the car is in gold. Inside is still primer. One of the intakes, gold. The front spoiler, the rear spoiler, and the body. I already primed it, painted it white, and then masked off and did the gold. So hopefully I lined it up correctly. Make sure I painted the gold very, very light, thin layer, because it's very runny. And then here is the engine. Some parts of it they wanted it to be in gray, and the rest I already spray painted. So from here on in, it's probably mostly assembly. The chrome pieces still have to be put in. And I want to show you one last piece. Oh, the driver sitting inside. Painted his eyeballs. Wasn't sure if he should be wearing sunglasses or a mask, but I dotted his eyeballs. Did the instrument panel. Alright, looks like you probably won't be able to see the details. Yep, there goes the instrument panel. I used a white jelly pen and some markers. Okay, so from here it's going to be some more gluing. Alrighty, so most of the chassis is done. I just did not include the turbocharger or the top intake manifolds and the exhaust portion connected to the turbocharger yet, because I'm waiting on distributors. Distributor cap goes near the back right over here, so I'm gonna have to drill a hole or tap a hole into it to insert the distributor. So I can't put all the stuff on top because then I won't be able to access it. So I'm waiting on the distributors to complete that, but for the most part the body's done, the front is done, the cooling system intakes, they're all done. So I'll probably start putting on the decals, but anyway, this is what it looks like without the decals, and I can't complete the top of the engine, but everything else is coming along. It's a pretty simple kit. It's not that complicated. The rear portion actually slides out. Right now I friction fitted it, but this portion actually pulls out. So I'll put the decals on right now. Alright, so this is the kit all mocked up if you guys want to assemble it without decals. Wheels and tires are not glued onto the axles yet. Just in case you want to see what it looks like without the Miller light. Alrighty everyone, so it's basically 99.5 done, my Miller High Life special. This whole unit, it hooks on with that little hole here, and there's a pin. So basically it can be friction mounted over here, and that little hole goes right in that tongue. So I'm just gonna friction fit it. It's been clear coated, but the decals actually was a really big challenge putting this on. I didn't think the kit was going to be this complicated, but the decals was really a challenge, especially if you want these factory logos and stickers. This also is friction fitted, so I'm not going to glue it, because who knows in the future if you need to take it apart and put into a travel case or something. So let me piece everything together and I'll be back. Oh, before I piece everything together, I might as well just show you the engine in detail. So I wired it. The wires were a little on the short side, so I made it look like it was a 90-degree bend right where it goes into the cam cover. Because I couldn't stick it vertically in. So it's a long stretch. Oil pump with the blue cover. I did make an error. I was sticking, and this is always the last part, the rear center hub. When I stuck it in, some extra model cement came oozing out, so I was able to remove some of the ooze. But then, as I was scraping some of the excess, I removed some of the chrome, so I had to touch it up. That's why that one looks kind of weird, when in fact it should look like this. So aside from that, I mean, that's my error. But the paint scheme, there's no template, so I had to eyeball the white. So if you compare it to the box, the distance of the green line should be equal distance all around, but as you can see, that's not the case because I had to eyeball the white. But the decals took the longest to work with. Alright, let me piece everything together. Alright, so I slit the rear section in. Kind of reminds me of a M1 Abrams power pack module where you just slide it in, or the front transmission on a Sherman tank where you loosen the bolts and you can slide the transmission out. So that's what this reminds me of, just slide the power pack in. So I'm going to put this on. So let me stop the video. Alright, so here it is, completed. The cover doesn't quite sit right because the turbocharger tube is preventing it. I don't feel like bending the tubes or anything, so rear is slightly higher than it should be. It should seat all the way down, but whatever. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, it's not too many pieces, but the decals was the hardest part, working with this green stripe line to try to get it even all across. The wheels do move. Somehow I lost the white Chevrolet bow tie decal for the front windshield. Must have got mixed in with some of the used decal sheet and I erroneously threw it out. But it looks nice. I mean, the gold paint is good. I did get a slight reaction to the clear coat because when you put this many amount of decals and with the pinstripe, some areas it cracked, so I had to put a layer of clear coat to keep everything down. See how it's starting to crack in some of these areas. Got a slight reaction to it, but I guess the backstory to this is, I'll just say, the heat from the engine was melting away the fiberglass, carbon fiber lid. But other than that, first Indy car, I think it came out half decent. And that's it. So I'll leave stills at the end. But as far as the challenges, the decals was the hardest part. The turbocharger plumbing, the fit and finish is not as good as a Tamiya or a Oishima, but it's a good representation. Put on the shelf, put in the display case. Wheels do move. I'm impressed with the amount of radiators it has, which I guess it needs, and the aerodynamic downforce on this removable cover. Look at these two larger radiators, here and over here. I think the wiring was a nice touch. And that's about it. So I'll leave stills at the end as usual. Hope you guys enjoyed it.